very pleasant evening to you out there. Thank you so much for joining us on another edition of the program National Talk on ECWA Television International. My name is Joyce Jakada. Tonight on National Talk, we beam our light on the appeal court judgment and the matters that are arising. You will recall that on Sunday, the Court of Appeal sacked Governor Caleb Mutfwang of PDP. And also in a recent judgment, the court affirmed the victory of Lagos State Governor Sanwo-Olu. But in twist, Kano State appeal, we saw how that the court earlier upheld the decision of the petition tribunal sacking Governor Abba Yusuf. But in a twist, a certified true copy showed a paragraph that affirmed Abba Yusuf victory. A lot of reactions these have generated, but in the studio, I'm now joined by Comr Jerry Datim, the Plateau State Coordinator of Human Rights Watch, whom together we shall be dissecting this issue. Good evening and welcome to National Talk.
Welcome. Good evening.
It is good to have you despite your busy schedule. We really appreciate you.
Thank you very much.
Well, I would like us to really go straight into the conversation. There have been a lot of reaction concerning the appeal court's verdict recently. We saw how that even earlier today, the appeal court affirmed the victory of Governor A.A. Sule of Nasarawa State. You will recall that the Election Petition Tribunal actually said, no, it is David Ombugadu of the PDP that won the election. But today we saw how that the appeal court in its judgment upheld the victory of A.A. Sule. In Lagos State, we saw that of Sanwo-Olu being affirmed his victory. And then in Kano, it was on Friday that we saw how that the appeal court actually went the part of the election tribunal saying that no, Abba Yusuf did not actually win the election, discarding about 165,000 votes on the basis that some of these votes, the ballot papers were not signed or stamped. People have asked questions whose fault it is, because we didn't see anybody taking responsibility on the part of INEC or anyone being made to face disciplinary action or even sanction. And then it is the more of a case of the vote of the people on one side and then the judiciary on the other side making decision, determining who wins the election. But in all of these verdicts, I would like to get your perspective as the coordinator of the Human Rights Watch. Of course, your issues have to do with human rights, and now we're talking about the vote of the people. Just yesterday, we had how some people were talking about, no, we went out, we voted, it is our right. Why would the courts be making decision on our behalf and all of that? But what do you make of this verdict?
Well, I'm happy to be here once again. And of the truth, we just have to say the truth. Our judiciary system in Nigeria is a kind of money back.
Why do
money
you
back
say
in the sense that there is a lot of gift that has passed through the hands of the politicians to the judges.
But do you have evidence that people have actually, I know...
Let me say this, I'm on air now. I'm saying this without any mixing of words. I can defend this in any court of law. Because somebody somewhere have threatening that let them do it. We have the money. Wherever they go, they will not win. Despite the fact that they have won at the local tribunal, they are going to appeal. And we are the ones that put them there. What does that mean? We have a quote. It wasn't a written document. He said it in a crowd, and he is boasting about it. And up till now, nobody have come out to dispute that. So why is he saying that? They will give the judges money, and they will get the case. They will win. And they have done it. So, let's talk about the Plateau issue in the first place. Why is our own so different? Why all these forces moving from one angle to another? How does it start? 2019. They are talking about a local government election. They removed the whole PDP out of the system. So they made it a one-man party, APC, all of them, they became the local government chairman. After that, they asked PDP in a court of law, go and reconduct another election. so that you can have authentic leadership of your party, which they did. I'm not a politician. I'm a human rights worker. And I must say the truth. Then they went according to them, and that INEC testified that they were there to supervise. And they did. They brought out the outcome. After some time, they said, PDP, you can now join the race. And somebody somewhere took them to Supreme Court.
No, it's not somebody somewhere. It's a member of the PDP.
That is what I'm saying. It's the same party. It's an in-house fight. So he now took them to court, to Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court said, we are...
The High Court in Plateau State.
No, I'm telling you about they went to Supreme Court. I have a copy of a judgment. Stamp. Said, go and reconduct your election. That the other one, it wasn't everybody that came for the election. They said about 10 local government or thereabout that participated in the election. And they said, no, we have carried all the 17 local government along with us. And the other said, and the faction all attended that primary according to one or two beef, and then it came up again. But INEC witnessed the election of that primaries.
You know, I know that emotions are actually high.
Yes.
I know that there are a lot of sentiment, opinion, or even sentiment. But rather,
mode fun. I voted PDP. In one of the judgment in somewhere, one said it's a pre-election issue. It should not be part of the tribunal issue. They agreed with that. Then why is it applicable to Plateau State alone that pre-election issue is being handled by the tribunal?
the court said there are clauses, you know, all of this, even though I know people have pointed out, oh, this is pre-election issues.
Yes.
Even the judges, like the legal team of the PDP, after the verdict was passed, talked about the fact that, see, the appeal court does not have the right to go into some of these internal affairs, and that is one of the reasons why they are optimistic about the Supreme Court verdict to their favor. But I'm just concerned in all. You just mentioned the issue of a member of the same PDP, like taking the PDP to court. Like, don't you think that, like, a lot of people out there are pointing out that the PDP, like, caused the problem that they are facing on the plateau?
I agree with you. That is why I'm saying PDP, they are the problem to themselves. But I'm taking it up with the judiciary because it's a pre-election issue. This thing should have been tackled before the proper election. They shouldn't have even included PDP in their logo for the election.
So that's
like
INEC.
Yes, the INEC. So there is a problem there. So INEC is the one that include PDP in the election. They would have done the same thing that was done during the local government election. Remove their logo and tell them to go back and settle their house. After allowing us convincing us that these people are part of the play. And later on, 3 people will come and sit down and said, no, you have a case, you and your wife, you have a case. So go and settle your case after you have wedded us in the church.
Well, I think it's
a
case of a
no,
wife
I'm just
and a
bringing
husband.
it to you to understand.
I understand your illustration, even though you're pointing to the fact that these are just pre-election matters.
Yes.
But the issue of sponsorship, like the court rule, is both pre-election and even post-election matter. Should the court fold its arms on issues that have to do with certification?
They are not supposed to, because they were not part of the election process. They were not part of it. It was after the election that it was taken to court. A committee was set to take care of the election cases. Where they are supposed to have handled this thing right from the beginning was from the INEC headquarters to the state headquarters.
Tell us who is eligible to be voted for. When they were campaigning, where were the judges that passed the judgment?
So INEC should be responsible
Yes,
for.
of course, INEC should be responsible for it.
Not the presidency or the judiciary.
Not at all. Not at all. All the cases that they have, they will throw this one away, they will throw that away. If it affects the pre-election, it's INEC. I think that is my judgment.
All right. Earlier on, I heard you talking about corruption and money exchanging hand. I know that in all of these cases and then the appeals that the verdicts that have been passed, people have actually accused the judiciary of not just corruption. People have pointed at high level of incompetence. People have talked about issues around dignity and even integrity of even the INEC. Like, a lot of people showed concern about even the recruitment process of the electoral officers, because, for example, in Kano, we're talking about 165,000 votes invalidated on the basis that they were not signed or stamped. And people are asking question, is that the voters' fault? Like, should that be the voters' fault? Because nobody is talking about, INEC should be sanctioned. INEC should, the electoral officers that are directly involved should be disciplined. Nobody is even talking about that. Everybody is just saying, people at the court is saying that this number of votes, because they are not stamped, the ballot papers are not stamped, the ballot papers are not signed, so they are invalidated. And concerns have been shared out there about the voter that went out there to vote, like having been convinced about the candidates that he actually wants, went out to vote. I've also had opposition parties coming out to say, see, it's not our fault. In fact, the special advisor to the president on information and strategy, Bayo Ananuga, talked about the fact that PDP should even blame itself for the removal of its governor and not even the presidency or the judiciary. Because as far as it is concerned, if you had obeyed the court order, we wouldn't have been where we are. Because the case is not even about PDP not scoring the highest vote, but it is just about party structure. It is about sponsorship. And you know that in our constitution, like section 177 of the 1999 Nigerian Constitution, subsection C, talked about the person that must contest for the position of the governor must be a member of a political party, and that political party must sponsor that individual. And the constitution does not even provide for an individual candidacy. And these are some of the clauses, or these are some of the reasons why the court actually passed the judgment. But I'm just really worried about the role of even party members, party leaders, because it's more like personal interest showed up. You just mentioned how that JT Hussaini's faction, the Jank factions and all of that. Why do we even have to allow interest even show up? And even like what do you make of this interest clashing in all of this?
In my last appearance here about the G5, and the question that was thrown to me was, what can I say about that? I told you it's just about personal interest, individual interest. All these things are happening not because I love Plateau or I love the people of Plateau. No, it's because of myself. I want me to be so, to be A, to be C. That is just it. That is why they have all these clashes. You understand? Jeremiah Wuseni is an elderly person, a statesman. Likewise, Babajan. If really they have two factions, why not come up with a resolution? You take 50, I take 50. And then put it on. Why they brought us to this kind of mess is because somebody wants to control the system. He will beat his chest. I am A, B, C, D. Not because of Plateau State. Those that love Plateau State, they have all died. The ones that we have now, they are greedy set of people.
I don't think you should generalize.
No, I want to generalize because I know Plateau since 1967.
And I think there are still people, there are still citizens.
Where are they?
Still...
Where are they? Look, they have made calls. I was in one of the settlements we called. You understand? Somebody refused to appear with some church leaders, retired and serving, just to make them reconcile so that we can have a platform to play our football. But somebody somewhere said, as far as he is concerned, he will not appear. Who are they to call him? Somebody. And then the other faction, they are aggrieved. This man wants to eat all. Okay. Somebody said, okay, let's make it 60-40. And yet they said no. They are the ones that brought us to this stage. And I want them, if they are listening to me, they should come out and apologize to Plateau people. They didn't pay us to go and queue up behind them. Yes, there are people that they gave them money. But some of us, and like you didn't collect 10 kobo from anybody to go and vote. But you were doing your duty as a citizen of this country. So PDP Plateau State should come out and apologize to us because we gave them the whole vote so that they will come and lead. But because of their selfish interests, they have put us into trouble right now.
Okay, drawing from what you just spoke about, there seems to be a wave of hatred. There seems to be a wave of bitterness that cut across not just religion but even ethnic group. This wave of bitterness and hatred is not even just among the opposition parties but even party supporters and even the different ethnic group. When you go to social media, you see people that you can liken to even social media terrorists because you see brothers, people that should be their brother keepers, like insulting, like pouring bitterness, hatred on one another. And it is always say when things like that exist, is more like paving way for the enemy. What should be the role of the elders or the leaders on the plateau?
That is why I'm telling you.
Because I had the governor saying, even after the verdict, calling his supporters and even the citizens of Plateau State to remain calm and be law-abiding, saying the verdict wouldn't even deter him from his mission of making sure that Plateau is on the path of peace, progress, and even unity. And I think to a large extent, that call has helped a lot of, though we saw protests on the street, but people have continued to remain calm because he has mentioned that they are not remaining at the appeal court, but he's going to exercise his right of even heading to the Supreme Court, which he has done. What role should the elders or the leaders on the plateau play at this critical time where we see hatred, where we see bitterness being meted up and down?
My sister, I want to tell you categorically, from the bottom of my heart, I said it and you said I should not generalize. In those days, if something happens like that, the stakeholders, both the Muslim and the Christian, will sit round table throughout the night to discuss issues. I remember 1983, when Solomon Lar and his team were overthrown. He was arrested. The entire plateau, including late John Jato Kadia, who was an opposition. He was even in the tribunal then. They gang up and then wrote a letter to the Military Supreme Council then, telling them that Solomon Lar did not steal money. Then we were with Nasarawa. You can see the vast land. They all team up together and wrote a strong letter to Buhari when he was the military head of state. And because there were elders then. Today, the Plateau elders are factionalized, tribalized, along religious inclination. And that is why we are where we are today, because there is no leader that will hold us. Say, Kai, come. Why did you insult Mrs. A? Why did you try to lie against Mrs. B? Nobody can do that, because this sentiment that you are talking about has grown wings and horns that they cannot bend it, because the same elders are sponsoring these data boys or data guys, or what do you call them? I don't know. Because some of the comments, even this morning, I read one of the comments. Somebody posted against Nentawe. I shed tears, literally, to God who make me. It's not supposed to. Whether you like it or not, Nentawe is a Plateau indigene. Whether you like it or not, they go to the same church. Whether you like it or not, they remain Plateau and Nigerians. Why should you castigate your fellow citizen, your fellow brother, because of politics? Is it only Mudfang that can rule Plateau State? No. You can do it. He can do it. I can do it. But we should look at politics just like football. You belong to Arsenal, I belong to Chelsea. If we meet and then we score, I take the cup, you congratulate me. That's what I expect. During Tabgun, they contested with Bagudu. Immediately they announced Tabgun as the winner. Bagudu ran to his house and hugged him. They took tea that evening together. Where is that spirit today? So, unless our elders come together to save Plateau, let me take you aback. Since 1999 to date, what development do we have on the Plateau? Nothing. This one is fighting this one. This one is fighting this one. It's the fight that led Darie to go to prison. It's not from anywhere. It's from Plateau. So should we continue like that? This thing should have been settled right from the beginning. But PDP took us for granted. That is why we are where we are today.
When you say took you for granted, like who?
They did not tell us the truth of the matter.
Or?
No, they took we the citizens. We the poor ones that we voted them. They took us for granted. They should have told us the truth. There were other parties that we can follow suit. But why are they crying today? They should go and mend their fence and let's work together.
All right, still talking about the unity on the Plateau. There are a lot of times you see how that individuals, how that party supporters fight themselves because of their leaders now at the political level. But at the end of the day, you still see these people dining together. You still see these people calling themselves brothers. I recall that during the presidency of Muhammadu Buhari, how that a lot of fire tussle was going on between party supporters, rendering insults, Buhari at some standing for Atiku and all of that. But at the end of the day, we saw that even when the son of former President Buhari was getting married, it was Atiku that stood as the father of the son. Like, do you not share concern about the lack of awareness about how these political leaders like still bond, yet party supporters still met hatred and bitterness amongst themselves? And how can we change this trajectory, especially as young people?
Yeah, you see, our politics in Nigeria has turned to something else. Two things: religion and tribe.
So is it something deliberately done?
No, it's deliberate. It's deliberate. I'm privileged to grow up under a leader called Paul Gindry. I grew up in his hand. He gave me the history of Sardauna up till today. If his picture is not destroyed, the picture of Sardauna is still in Paul Gindry's house in Kaswanama. Get me right. his secretary, his personal secretary, was a Christian. And if Jolie Tanko mistakenly did not go to church on Sunday, let Sardona will send his messenger, go and wake him up. Guy, why are you not going, getting ready to go to church? He said, I'm tired. Don't go and dress up and go to church and go and worship God. Without God, you cannot be doing this work. You will go and dress up and go to church. Yes. Today, we are fighting ourselves along religious line. Okay. Let's come back to the Plateau's issue. Have you ever heard of the House of Reps member representing Kanke, blah, 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 and so on and so forth? What do you call him? Gagdi. He is the chairman on Navy. House of Reps chairman on Navy. He have ample opportunity to fix in some of these youths into those areas. How many leaders have gone to him from Plateau? Forget about your party affiliation. Meet him, my brother, I want you to help my children, or from this ward, I want them to go. Nobody. They are here fighting on party issues instead of trying to lobby to send these youth that are unemployed to other places to get something to eat for themselves. So you mean
those that are competent to occupy those seats, right?
Yes. Okay. Now, Maji, he has done a lot. No, on his own, I've met with him, we've discussed. I know how many people he said I should bring them, let them take them to police, and they fixed them. Forget about religion. But because of party affiliation, they are fighting themselves. Instead for them to come, everything, we are hunters, go and hunt and bring. We put it on the same table and let's share. Nobody is doing that. Take for instance, the past administration was the everything of the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. He cannot lobby for a road from Akwanga to Jos. But Autumn, who was fighting the presidency, they were able to lobby. And they have expressed from Lafia to Benue. Go and check. What benefit do we have on the Plateau as the governor representing 19 northern states, chairman 19 northern states? We have benefited nothing. And the same thing is happening again this time around.
No, this is a new administration.
No, wait. Whether you like it or not, because of our lack of unity, it will still be the same. It is when we unite, then we will be able to speak with one voice. You belong to APC, I belong to PDP. Okay, please, sir, I will go to the APC. Can you help us talk to this man, sir? Since you are there, please, this is our take. Please, can you give him this bag of potato to appreciate? We don't do that here. Rather, I will sit down here and castigate you from morning till evening. And nothing will come up. The worst road for now, North Central, is Plateau Road. Check me out. I've traveled all over the 36 states within 3 months. So, where are we? Until we come together, we should have an agenda. If you go, then this is the agenda we are supposed to have. If I go, this is the agenda we are supposed to have. That one is not done here. And two, we are very religious. And when you come to religious set, they will tell you, no, you don't belong to cooking. So you are not part of it. You understand?
So are you saying that the issue on the Plateau is largely caused by religious differences and ethnic differences?
Yes, these are the two things. Ethnicity and religion. You understand? I attended a meeting somewhere.
But you know that going by the appeal court judgments, it didn't just affect Governor Caleb Mutfwang, but
all of them.
About 7 members of the National Assembly were
all
affected,
of them,
and even
because they are PDP.
Some at the state level, and all it is because of the issue of structure.
Yes.
But even the people that took over from them, if we're saying that religion played a factor and all, the people that were given, you find out that some of them are from the same ethnic group and the same religion.
Yeah, you can get...
So do you not think there is more of interest rather than issue of religion?
No, interest is there. I've said it several times. I've said it here when I was invited the other time. I'm still saying it again. Self. You know, my local government has been under attack. And I've been in the helm of affairs there. Tinubu's wife brought a gift to alleviate some people. Because 500 million cannot alleviate the whole. We have about 80,000 IDPs. 80,000. I have all the statistics. So, but she has come to help some little people. I'm marvel. But to my greatest surprise, from the list I got, directly from the villa, out of 170 for Mango, over 80% are those that are not affected.
Wow.
Good. What do you call that?
Well, there are a lot of interest, right?
Yes, there are a lot of interest.
I would like us to just watch the response from both the legal team of the PDP as well as the APC, especially regarding the appeal court verdict, before we move into some of the issues in other states, because this verdict is not just on the Plateau.
No, not on the
just
Plateau,
today in Nasarawa State, after the people of the supporters of People's Democratic Party rejoiced at the verdict that came from the Election Petition Tribunal, confirming that yes, David Ombugadu actually won the election. The appeal court today in its ruling actually confirm or affirm the victory of Engineer A.A. Sule, who is the governor of the state. But before we dive into that, I would like us to quickly watch the response from the legal team of the APC as well as the PDP. When we are back, our phone lines will be open for you to call and add your voice to the conversation.
This is a post-election matter. Being a post-election matter, it means that the course of action for anyone who is not a member of the PDP starts from the day of the election. I think this is one area that many people do not understand. It would have been a pre-election matter for aspirants or members of the PDP. But any other candidate from any other party will wait until the election. Then what will qualify him is the fact that he has contested and he says PDP was not qualified to contest. And what made PDP not qualified to contest? The court said they have been found to have disobeyed serially series of judgments of Plateau State High Court and the Court of Appeal. The other judgments were to the effect that PDP, you don't have a structure. Once you don't have a structure, it means you don't even have a party to even sponsor a candidate.
Assuming without conceding that there was no structure, you cannot put the cart before the horse. In paragraph 4A of the appellant's reply to second respondent's reply to the petition, they said that the nomination and the sponsorship of the second respondent, that's the governor of Plateau State, is invalid by reason of those court orders. So before you apply the effect of the court orders, you first of all satisfy the court that the issue of nomination is well domiciled in the court, that they have jurisdiction. If they lack jurisdiction to venture into nomination, the effect of the orders, including structure, cannot be had by the court. And that is our position.
Well, that's the PDP's legal team reiterating its position. As we speak, the governor has headed the Supreme Court. And because the Supreme Court is the court of policy, public policy, we hope that they will actually apply due diligence so that at the end of the day, their decisions will not be hazardous to not just the citizens, but the country entirely. You will recall that before the video, we were actually talking about some of the decisions, the verdict that came out from the appeal court. And a lot of people have reacted, especially pointing variations in the verdict. For some people, especially, I was earlier on the governor of Kano State, talking about Alba Yusuf, was describing the verdicts as miscarriage of law. Other people describe it as strange. A senior advocate of Nigeria, talking about Falana, described the verdict as even scandalous. In fact, he has called for the review of the appeal court's judgment. And in that of Kano State, just on Friday, the appeal court is saying that no, they are upturning the verdict by the Election Petition Tribunal that affirmed on Friday about the victory of the governor right there, and then the CTC actually showed that some paragraphs are showing that
tribunal verdict in Nasarawa State.
Okay.
Hello?
Go ahead.
Hello?
We can hear you. Go ahead. Well, please call us back. We'd like to hear your take on the appeal court's verdict. But please, when you call us, kindly turn down the volume of your TV set or move away from it. That way we can hear each other and not obstruct the conversation. So all these are actually description. In fact, a legal practitioner described the verdict, especially the one that came from Kano State, as insensitive, considering the situation, how emotions are actually high. But to come out and give this verdict and a clause in your CTC is showing that, oh, some paragraphs are saying Abba Yusuf is actually won the election and all of that is actually insensitive. And that is why some people are saying there's actually gross incompetence even in the judiciary, as much as we do not want to impugn on the character of the court. But you see, all of these variations, even though we understand their peculiarity to some of these issues, but what do you make of this appeal court's verdict in other states? Especially, we've seen Lagos, we've seen Kano, we've seen Nasarawa State.
If Nigerians want us to live in peace and enjoy this country with all the wealth that God has given us, is for our judiciary to be sincere, to be honest, to we, the masses. I don't respect the appeal court verdict. I don't. My boss have said it all. Falana is my boss. He has said it and it's final.
Totally unacceptable. It's full of bias and full of sentiment. As a matter of fact, it should be going like that. I think very soon we'll no longer have a country called Nigeria, because judgment in the Court of Appeal and the courts now are the one giving election, no longer election. It's no longer election. It's why the court are just giving out election seats to people that they want.
Thank you. Indeed, emotions are really high. This is talking about, oh, this is not election but selection. The courts are deciding, and that's why earlier on I said it's like the votes are on one side and the courts, the judiciary on the other side deciding. Please go on with your point.
Yeah, so that is, he has said the real thing. We don't have confidence in the appeal verdict. We don't. And if they will not reverse their judgment, I think certainly there's going to be a serious protest cut across the whole country. And this government cannot contain it.
But we've seen some people rejoicing.
No, that is two-party, is a two-way thing.
This issue of election in Plateau State, because I'm imaging of Plateau State.
Okay. Go ahead.
I think next time, I think we should not bother ourselves to vote for anybody. Because the way this the tribunal waiting, all this and that is unfair. We are suffering.
It's quite unfortunate. Emotions are really high. Please go ahead.
Madam, you have to be a little bit patient. We will go out to vote. If we don't do that, I think God will not forgive us, because it's our role. Let's take our own, let's do it and let them turn it upside down. God will still judge them at the end of the day. So the Court of Appeal sitting in this country, as I told you earlier, I said it's all about money.
All right, let's speak with our caller. Hello, good evening.
Huh?
Go ahead, make your contribution.
Oh. Hello. Hello, good evening.
Evening. Please, when you call us, kindly move from your television set or turn down the volume. That way we can hear each other and save time. Go ahead.
Unless all these cases are reversed, then peace will come up. Those people that are rejoicing,
Well, the peace of the nation is really sacrosanct, and we must encourage people to remain calm.
I'm not saying we. I'm not going to be part of it because I'm a peacemaker. That's why I'm human right. Somebody cannot be paying me to cause disruption.
All right, let's
am I talking on this Plateau issue?
Yes, your national talk. Please go ahead with your contribution.
This Plateau issue of a thing, you know, I've been in Plateau for quite a long time. Hello?
Go ahead. If we lost that call, please, when you call us, I can hear myself. Please, when you call, kindly move from your television set or just turn down the volume. That will save us the time.
You see, we have to agree that we need to give peace a chance.
During I'm talking about the tribunal election in the tribunal, Court of Appeal judgment in Nasarawa State.
Okay.
Going by the way, if the court should be the one who will be deciding the judgment for us, I think the best thing, we should just stop calling ourselves, deceiving ourselves that we are in democracy. Because the people will go out on vote, while the court will go and decide who to give the seat to. I think if we should continue like this, we will no longer have a country to call our own. Like what is happening to this useless man?
No. We will not take tolerate insult. Please, let's be put some decorum in our speech.
And they went and gave somebody else. For how long shall we continue like this? For how long shall we continue like this? Look at what happened in Plateau State. Almost all the PDP senators were and National Assembly members were moved and given to APC and people that nobody vote for them. Then we will no longer have a country. That will make people to move to anarchy. Because the way we are going in this country, we are being pushed the wall. And what next? If you are being pushed the wall, you have to retaliate.
No, you have to be calm. I understand that emotions are actually high, but please, no name calling. We should avoid name calling and even insulting people. I understand, yeah, emotions are really high, but please, let's remain calm. Let's be peaceful.
I just want to say, please, let's be calm. God is still on the throne. As they are going, they are not just stopping there like the law says once senator goes to Court of Appeal, it's gone. No. The governors, they will still go to Supreme Court. And I believe that the Supreme Court judge will do justice to all these cases so that it will be reversed to give the right honors.
Hello.
Yeah, good evening.
Hello, good evening.
Thank you for calling. What's the name and where are you calling from?
Good evening, madam.
Evening. What's your name and where are you calling from?
My name is Emeka, Republic.
Okay, Emeka, thank you for calling. Go ahead with your contribution.
The problem in Nigeria is that we don't have law. That's why every state, I'm from Imo State, this thing that happened in Plateau State happened in Imo State. But what am I suggesting? I'm suggesting war, or this is not the solution. The solution is that Nigeria is supposed to change their constitution. And all these lawyers, you cannot, in this country I'm living, in the Republic, the lawyers, they vote themselves. A president cannot appoint a lawyer. If you appoint a lawyer, see America, we are practicing the American system. But in America, a president has no right to appoint a lawyer. If you appoint a chief justice or this thing, they will be your this thing. They'll be your children. Everything you tell them, they do. If you want to get it right in Nigeria, then let us change our law. In the state that no judiciary. Judiciary is the arms of government. They are powerful than the executive. But now the executive take them as their own children. If you want to get it right, let us change our constitution so that the constitution will make the lawyers to vote who is the chief justice. If after we continue the president continue appointing this thing, we cannot get it right. If the president appoint me, I will do to the voice of the president. That is the only thing.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Emeka, for calling and your contribution. I understand you're in Benin Republic, but please, let's not encourage war here in Nigeria. We have to remain calm and peaceful. A lot of people have pointed to the recruitment process. Well noted. And that's why we encourage people, when this recruitment process make your own investigation as citizens, ask questions, talk about it. Of course, the government is also listening and is also watching. We can't keep mute and expect that actually something will be done. So why we need to always ask questions.
I want to take him on the last part. He said the truth. I've said this several times. I went to Abuja, met with some leaders. I told them why this country is in this mess is because we don't have a democratic constitution. The constitution we're operating with is the military constitution. So until this amendment is not our own. We should have our own democratic constitution. Then we'll work by the law. Because the judiciary, when I was in secondary school, they said 3 arms of government. But in Nigeria, we have only 1 arm of government.
Which is?
Good, is the executive.
No, there are other arms of government as far as...
It's not working. It's not working. They are all money backed.
No, you can't conclude. You cannot generate. We can't impute on the character and integrity of the
court. Let me tell you one thing. What is working for us? All these things are supposed to be deliberated by the National Assembly, by our state assembly. Nothing is working. It's the executive that gives them whatever he wants and then they go.
We've seen
what law are they making?
We've seen how that even at the National Assembly, they kept reiterating, they are independent of nobody influenced their decision.
No, they are not.
They are not the kind of yes side kind of.
No, it's a lie. It's a lie. Who appointed Apabio? Is the executive that made him. Look, we can't quote that. Okay,
well, let's speak with the caller. Hello, good evening.
In Abuja, we naturally said supporting that very so seriously.
Hello, are you there?
We naturally said we are not happy about the next judgment today. We are not happy on it totally. So let them go and sit it and be looking the good things and say the good things. Let the good things to be done in Nazareth. If not war, I don't want.
No. We can't go in. We can't afford to go into war.
It's very bad. It's very bad.
I understand how that people can go out. Thank you so much for calling. Go out and exercise their fundamental human right by voting. But war is not an option.
Some of us were alive when the Biafran war was fought. I will never pray for Nigeria to go into war. No. It's for us to change our constitution and let things work fine. If you are found guilty, you should be dealt with appropriately.
And you know, we all have a role to play in all of this. Beyond voting, we have the right to actually hold our leaders accountable. In the first place, on what basis are you voting? And then when you vote, what do? You go to sleep? Because you have to reduce your expectation. It's not just about taking invitation cards to these people, but holding them accountable based on the provisions of the office that they occupy. And that is one of the areas. I know that as Nigerians, we are trying, and we have actually tried. But we can actually do more. Beyond calling for war, we have to exercise our fundamental human right by also going out to vote. We can't say, oh, because of this happening, so we allow the court or we allow the power of the day to make selections. No, we can't do that. I'm particularly concerned that countries just recently, Liberia, Sierra Leone conducted elections. And then we saw how everything moved smoothly. These are countries that Nigeria actually helped in the past.
We senior them.
You understand? And then, but over 8 months after, we're still rigmaroling. Hello, good evening.
Nigerian politics already is corrupted.
And why do you say so?
You hear me? It's corrupted. They are just learning politics. They don't know what is politics.
So how do we make them understand what politics is? Well, I think we're having some network issues right there. Thank you.
My role as a human rights worker, I've been going around educating people. If you elect somebody, you don't need to come and tell him your wife is sick or you can't pay your child's school fees. No, that is not what you send him there for. You see, because of hunger, people think by going to National House of Assembly or House of Reps or Senate, we're going to make the money and come and give it back to you. I've challenged my former senators. I said, If you are giving us borehole, what is the governor of the state doing? You are there to make law to protect me. You are not there to go and bring money for me, or you come and buy transformer to come and fix for me. What is the NEPA doing? They are responsible for fixing transformers. But because our people doesn't know their right, they will always call them for launching, for baby birth, or I'm praying for my daughter, please come. No, it's above that. You are sending there to go and represent you, to make law, to better your constituency. But we are not looking at that. We're enlightening them. I've gone around to so many places to tell our people, hold your representative responsible for what is happening in the country. Don't blame the presidency, because he is not closer to you. This man will come back and spend the weekend with you. He will come and then go to your church. Go and meet him there and tell him, we have not seen you. Call a town hall. They are not doing it. So it's our responsibility to get them arrested and let them know the right thing.
Well, emotions are actually high and a lot of public opinion out there. As a human rights worker, what would be your advice and encouragement to people out there?
Well, first of all, I want to tell us that we should all live in peace. Plateau citizens, Plateau indigents, Plateau people that are resident on the Plateau, we should embrace peace. Those data boys, we should stop hitting the polity. It's not good for us. We either belong to Christianity or Islam. This religion, we should try as much as we can to live by our ethics. 2, I want our leaders to please help unite the upcoming generation, because the way we are behaving, we are not teaching our children anything good at all. So they are following suit. So please, our elders should come out and speak. Whether you belong to APC or PDP or PRP, come out and join hands, and then let's build Plateau.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for that encouragement, Comrade Jerry Datim, the Plateau State Coordinator of Human Rights Watch. We really appreciate your analysis and perspective on National Talk. And to our viewers out there, thank you so much for staying with us. And we expect that the Supreme Court at this point must be fully responsible as the court of public policy. Due diligence must be applied as emotions are really high. There's no need for negligence. There's no need for incompetency at any point. So we should apply, there's need for due diligence so that peace and then unity can actually be maintained. And it is important that we also know that democracy is the theory that the common people know what they want and deserve to get it good and hard. Until we come your way tomorrow, same time, you have a blessed night.